Good evening, viewers. Welcome to Raymond Writes. Have I got a treat for you? Now, I have just found a program that is basically better than boardbooster ever was. It's a bit more complicated to get your head around. It's not as simple and straightforward as what boardbooster was, but it does everything that boardbooster does for cheaper. And if you only want to manage one Pinterest account like I do, then it's only $25 a month. How fantastic is that? And you could pin up to a bazillion pins if you want to, and you would be fine. So how do we do this then? Well, if you look in the description underneath, if you're on my website, you'll be able to link to it. If you're on the YouTube channel, then look underneath for the description, and you go to Jarvie, set up an account, download the Jarvie program and put in your details, and after that, let's get going. So what we'll do here is once here this is all my profiles, of course. So what we'll do is we will add a profile, and then we'll go to Pinterest and we'll add a profile. Now all you need to do here is name your Pinterest account. So I only have one Pinterest, so it's not going to say Pinterest account 6, it's probably going to say Pinterest account 1 if that's all you're using Jarvie for, or you might even want to name it like I named mine, whatever I wanted to, and then put in your username and your password, the regular one you use for Pinterest. A lot of people say that you need proxies for this, but if you're like me and you're only managing one Pinterest account, then you'll not need a proxy because it's your IP and you're the only person that uses that account. But if you're doing more advanced things like managing 5 or 6 Pinterest accounts, then that's something that you may want to look into, but we're not talking about that here. Okay, so username and email, or username or email, password, straightforward, verify account. That pending status should then change to valid, and once that's changed to valid, you go to tools, right, and then you see your Pinterest account here. I'm not going to use this one that I created because all my settings are in this one here. So we'll pretend this is the one. Now ignore all these here. These are all my follow and follow back set and unfollow and comment and repin and create boards. We're not going to touch any of that, mainly because that's extra training for when you've got your head around this repinning. I wouldn't suggest, if you're going into this first off and you have no idea what all this means, don't use it, because it could get your account suspended, especially if you're mass following and mass unfollowing people. For example, I only follow 2 to 3 people between every 4 to 5 minutes, and my account is like 4 years old, so you know, if you're a new account, then you probably couldn't do that. But that's by the by. There is extra training materials underneath my blog post. The blog post that this comes from will be in the YouTube video. But anyway, let's go. So the basically the one that we're looking for is repin. We'll ignore the follow and unfollow because boardbooster never did anything to do with that. But I am open to creating tutorials for follow and unfollow and all the other things that Jarvie does if you're interested. However, at the moment, we're only going to look at the boards. And when you've got Pinterest up, basically all your boards will be here. And you will see stopped. Every single one of them will be stopped. There's ones that are deleted. I'm not entirely sure why they were deleted. Some of them were mine, some of them were not mine, so you might have been removed from the boards. You never know. But anyway, for instance, you see dating and relationships one here, and I've repinned 43 pins to that since I started this up. And if you see my details here, right, I repin one time every day between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. and the time that I pin is 11:40 a.m. But I randomize that publishing time each day, so it varies from time to time. So I only want to pin once a day to this board, right? This is what I've got it set at, because it's not a group board. It's one of my boards, and I just want to keep it updated with fresh material. And then the sources for that, if you look at all here, because it's a dating relationship board, what I've done is I'm repinning from other popular boards. Now I changed this around quite a bit because I don't just want to make my board look like someone else's board, so I'll delete that and then I'll get new boards that I like. So if you look here, you can find a board that you really like with what you agree on. It has to be what you agree on, because it can't just be beautiful pins, because as someone in the dating and relationship field, there could be some really nice pins, but when you actually click on the content, it's completely against what you believe in. So really do your research on this. Don't just put any old thing in there. So what I usually do is I usually find a board that I really like with all good content and nice looking pins and pins that I believe in, and I'll put it in here. And then I will add the board URLs to here, and as you'll see, they'll come up. They'll come up here. So I've got 4 boards at the moment from 4 different people, and it's pinning once a day to my board. And then you see the results. These are all the times it's been posted. These are the pins and so on. So that's how I keep my Pinterest updated with fresh content all the time. Now this is what you most likely have used your board booster for, and that's keeping fresh content regularly. I don't post to all of them. I really need to do more work on this. I've only just started it, but I was so excited with what I found that I thought I needed to tell the world. So let's look in a popular. So we got here, right? I got bloggers post-it board, and I post here 1 time per day. So I'll go to details, 1 time per day, and I randomize those publishing times each day. And my sources are, and this is where I get to pin my own pins on other places. So I've got my own board, which is Heart and Humanity, which is actually secret, but it's a board with all my pins. It's all my pins that I want to pin on other places. So I'll put that in there and add board URL, and then it goes in there. And I post, that basically posts pins from there onto that board, and once a day, and it randomizes that. In fact, well, I'll look into that later, but you could do it, you could do it as many times as you want. You can do it 20 times a day if you wanted to, and you can do that on all your boards. But for the sake, because that's 1 times a day. I only want it 1 times a day, and you can do that with all these. What I suggest is you create a board on Pinterest with all your pins, all your pins that you want to drive traffic to your site. Just one board, and keep it secret. And then what to do is have all your boards here. And for instance, here's a blogs we love, right? And I posted that 5 times a day. 5 times a day, randomize each day, so it just changes all the time. And then I go to sources, and then you'll see is my Heart and Humanity board, which is secret. No one can see it apart from me. But I will take a pin from there and post it on. I will actually post it on that board, that group board. So I will get 5 pins from me each day on that board. And if you look here, you've got lots of different settings. So you could randomize publishing times each day, randomize number of repins each day. So it's like 1 to 5. You could do that to 200 to 300 if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend that because board owners would probably get really annoyed. So yeah, I just left that alone. Repin only tall images. I only like the tall images on Pinterest. I'm not very keen on other images. And yeah, That's what I did. Repins 5 times a day. And that is just like boardbooster. It's really, really good. And that's how it works. But I know this, I mean, I know you'll probably be looking at this at the moment and thinking, whoa, that's, you know, that's a bit complicated. But if you find that too complicated, I will run I'm starting to run a service soon, where for $35 a month I will do all that for you, no hassles, and that includes all the management and the proxies involved and so on. So yeah, if you want to take me up on that offer, you can. But by all means, definitely try doing it yourself as well, because you could just set it and leave it. It's really good. But as always, I'm here to help. Okay, thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I shall speak to you later. Bye.